I'm going to go first to Michael. He points out that a woman in Illinois has a petition to ban kratom because she blames her husband's suicide on it. Also, another alleged death in Adams County, Illinois. All I see is 708s being sold in gas stations. Any way we can get it removed? Would KCPA legislation solve this issue? The answer to that is yes. Our Kratom Consumer Protection Act does solve this issue because it puts restrictions on synthetic, semi-synthetic, and purely chemically formulated kratom-like products. We don't allow those products to be sold, and it is a sufficient protection for consumers to do that. And then the existing protections at the federal level provide the framework for a safe kratom products. The issue with 7-OH is out of control at this point. We see 7-OH products, if you look at the marketing that goes on, I made a presentation at a trade show in Chicago last week, and I gave examples of the kinds of products that are being sold, and they are the most absurd kinds of packaging and marketing materials. One of the 7-OH products is called Smurfs, and it's made to look like a child's candy. And then they have another that looks like ice cream cones in a confection. And these, I mean, it's incredible. And the levels of serving sizes are rapidly escalating from what started out as 7.5 milligrams to now some 60 and 80 milligrams per serving. One of the leading producers of 7-hydroxymytragynine products in the United States testified in Rhode Island and said that 28 milligrams was a serving size that was acceptable. In Massachusetts, he testified that you could sit down and eat 2 pounds of 7-hydroxymytragynine and it wouldn't hurt you. One of the legislators caught me in the hall afterwards and said, well, let's take him up on that. Let's hook him up to all of the vital signs, and let's let him start eating. And we'll know precisely when he died. It was, I mean, it was in jest, but it's true. There's no way that anyone could ingest that level of 7-OH and survive. All of the troubling and alarming data that is being produced by scientists right now show that as a full mu opioid receptor agonist, it's not a partial agonist like mitragynine is. It has the same effects as an opioid, and it has the same addictive qualities, euphoric highs, and the respiratory suppression. So this is a ticking time bomb in this industry. We have to act to protect it, which is why we're so tough on it along the way. So our bills do that. We're going to continue to strengthen them. The new federal bill will do that. I can tell you that the 7-OH people are actively lobbying. They're out there saying, "Oh, this is just a turf war. This is just people trying to compete against one another, trying to eliminate us." No, it's a safety issue for consumers. That's the bottom line for us. And they can have fights in the competitive marketplace, as I referenced earlier, and those should be on a product competitive basis for consumers to choose, but it should be among a universe of products that are safe. And I can tell you that the lead scientist for the 7-OH product industry presented in Florida at a meeting that we had in January, and he acknowledged that there was no evidence and data that scientifically justified the safety of 7-OH products in their market entry 2 years ago, nor in January of 2025, and that they were hoping that they would have that scientific data by the end of this year or in 2026. That doesn't meet the federal standard. So we're fighting hard against these 7-OH products, which we think masquerade as kratom products, mislead consumers, and they're dangerous. And so until they can prove that under the conditions of use, an appropriate label for it, if you were to take the naturally occurring levels of 7-OH, as we've observed it, that occurs in the natural drying process of the kratom leaves prior to them being powderized and shipped to the United States from Indonesia and Southeast Asian countries, you would see less than 0.4 milligrams per serving of 7-OH. And then you can contrast that to 28 milligrams or 80 milligrams. It's just not safe in the way that it's done.